Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're taking a quick look here again at Solana, seeing what's going on. Looks like we broke through this little descending trend, so instantaneously, it's a surprise, super shocker. Oh wait, just kidding. Bitcoin did the exact same thing. All right, so again, just friendly advice. Bitcoin pulls back, Solana should as well. You got to recognize at this point here that it's an interesting little situation, and there's somewhat of a pairing between the two. So just want to kind of preface and let you know that while this is exciting and nice, we did break above this little resistance level I talked about earlier at about $74. Unless we can close above that level, start kind of decoupling from Bitcoin, we could very well see the price pull back if Bitcoin does too. Now again, there's the other chance that Bitcoin continues higher. But it makes a lot more sense right now that Bitcoin pulls back in the overall, just based on how much liquidity is at 40,500. It's crazy how likely that possibility is. In fact, such a strong likelihood, I took a short earlier today, and of course, the price shot up as soon as I did that. Of course, we offset that with a different short, took profit on it, all well and good. But again, just the way that trades go, right? They don't always go the way that you want, and that's okay. You roll with it and you structure your trades effectively. So to touch on that, congrats to our community members again for this storage short there. We took a little 7x leverage short, got a little 20% trim there in 1 hour and 1 minute. That was fantastic. We also had a Uniswap short at 38% that triggered here recently. And of course, over the weekend, we got SHIB at 62%, 8 days there. An older SHIB trade at 122, AVAX 58%, and 100, in a day and a half roughly. And same thing with ICP. All targets achieved in a day and a half at 96%. So I am not upset with those profits this weekend. Thanks again for the awesome feedback to my community. Greatly appreciate that. And if you are considering something along those lines, cryptocash.tech is a site. Most of my members just kind of take those trades and run with it. They basically use it as confirmation and set their own trade steps. So again, just something to kind of think about there. So let's look at Solana, see what's going on. Something I want to talk about here. We talked about this earlier. There's a heavy concentration again at $65 to $66, and a previous liquidation at about that $71 mark. But again, more recent, we saw that $68 support level swept and just recovered right instantly. So again, please, again, if you didn't watch my video earlier, be careful setting stop losses right at key level supports or resistances. It's really not a good call. You want to set them as far away as possible. The best way to do that is, for me, when I set multiple targets, I'll set a second target at a support level and hope the price wicks down, gets me that fill, and comes right back up. Okay, so again, stop loss, not a good call, but adding to your position effectively would be. Again, depends on what kind of trader you are. That said, whoops, let's go ahead and zoom in here on, not that far in, up here. We can kind of see these shorts at about 75.6 are considering getting liquidated, or they might actually. The price could still pull back, but usually when you see a sweep of the most recent 75 resistance level, there's typically a little bit further more up. Again, a lot of this hinges on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin pulls back, we'll see the exact same thing from Solana. At least that's what it's showing, okay? Doesn't mean it's 100% going to do that forever. It just means right now it's kind of aligned with itself. And a lot of times when coins are in retracement, they will align themselves with Bitcoin. Okay, so it makes perfect sense. We're in this position right now, we're Solana. That said, let's look at the 4-hour time frame. In fact, we're close to the daily candle close. We got 5 minutes left. Let's go ahead and check this out. See if there's anything telling here, because earlier we were above 50 on the RSI, which we still are. We have a stochastic RSI convergence on the horizon, which is good, and we're also shifting from a type of bearish divergence to mostly just a plateau, which oftentimes shows that that's a good sign. So a lot of these things are combining together to be positive. So daily is still looking really good. We wicked all the way down to the 50-day SMA and held strong like a champ. So again, all good things here. There's really nothing negative or adverse, we could say. We can draw a trend line out here for later, kind of pay attention to that, because that is running concurrent with a lot of these moving averages here. And we can kind of see that happening there. Okay, so again, good stuff there. Overall, we're in good shape. So daily time frames, okay. 4-hour time frame, what's going on here? We can see that we are converging on the MACD almost. We're not quite there yet, but another 8 hours, we could be there, okay? Again, you never want to act on that until after the fact. And when you act on it, you use supporting factors. You don't only take a trade based on that. That said, though, that's a positive contributing factor. Being up over 50 on the RSI is also good. Stochastic RSI is swinging up, and money flow index is up. So these are all positive signs. Okay, again, the chart for Bitcoin looks the exact same. So just keep that in mind. Try to get super excited. This all hinges on Bitcoin. Now, keep in mind, too, there could be a decoupling, whatever word you want to describe it as, when Bitcoin could pull off and we could see Solana take off. Okay, what we want to look for is Solana kind of moving independent of Bitcoin, and at that point, we can expect somewhat of a breakout. between now and then, we can presume the price will continue to replicate itself with Bitcoin, although slightly different. Whereas right here, we can see right at about 73.50, an area of importance. We want to close above that level, preferably on the daily, which we probably will. And the same thing with the 4-hour time frame here. So we're looking pretty good to be able to break this most recent high, the lower high effectively, and we're going to replace that with a higher high. That's a good sign. That's a trend reversal. We see the same thing from Bitcoin, then we're going to be in really good shape. Okay, and just to touch on it here, Bitcoin is and has essentially a very similar pattern here. In other words, we broke that little 42,500 mark, price action trying to break through that level. It's not 100% guarantee it's just going to continue higher because of that, but that does increase the odds. And keep in mind, we were trying to break this descending trend too. So all the more reason to just, understand what Bitcoin is doing first before you take a trade of Solana. That's half the reason why we're so successful with it, but also understanding kind of how they work together and separate from each other, okay? But right now, we can kind of just see that similarity there, so just got to make sure to put that in the back of your mind. Okay, so the 4-hour time frame looks pretty decent. Makes sense that it looks decent because we got a significant uptrend here, whereas TD sequential is telling us we're overextended now, leading into a resistance level. A lot of times the price will continue higher because of that. That said, though, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Ichimoku cloud and confirm. We are confirming about 2 hours above the cloud, which is fantastic. Lagging spans, free and clear conversion lines above the baseline. These are all perfect examples of when to take a long position. Okay, so only thing that's keeping me hesitant is the fact that I feel like Bitcoin's faking people out right now. That's just, again, just kind of a gut feeling. It may not be accurate. I hope I'm wrong. The price goes up. I'd be fine with that. My spot bags would be okay. But it would make sense, though, the price action gets liquidated or a lot of liquidations occur at that low 40,000 range. And that's just a really, really strong indicator for me that Bitcoin's going to pull back soon. I could be way off base. I hope I'm wrong once again. Anyways, the reason I'm talking about all that is that if Bitcoin has a bad day, keep in mind Solana might do the same thing as well. Okay, so just pay attention to that. We'll keep analyzing this here and we'll start seeing if there's any differences. But for right now, the last 24 hours have been very, very similar to Bitcoin's behavior. And to me, that is, I wouldn't say that's troubling, but that just implies that Bitcoin sells off. We could see the same thing from Solana. Okay. All right. So just be careful with your stop losses. Make sure you adjust them up if you're in profit, which you should be right now, obviously, because you likely got entered in somewhere in the last 24 hours. And if you're considering a target, a lot of times good targets are more recent highs. Okay, so again, a target area might be somewhere in this range here at about 77, make it like 76.9, right? Just below that level. If it wicks up there, you can take some profit before it turns around. Okay. All right, anyways, I hope this was helpful. Thanks again for joining me here. Please like the video if you could, help us grow the channel. Also be sure, I'm sure you've already know this, but we are a Bitunix family here. So be sure to use my link down below to qualify this eligibility, this offer I think is going to only be eligible for the rest of the year, if I'm not mistaken. And significantly beneficial opportunity there, but more important, no KYC, no VPN required. Phenomenal exchange. I have walkthroughs on my Discord here, and of course, this is linked to my YouTube as well. So check it out in your own time. Thanks again for watching. Hope you all have a great rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one.